Okay, the next problem that I want to do as an example to help you practice with your dimensional analysis is convert 5 kilometers to miles. Okay, so we're going from the metric to the imperial system. So remember, our first step is to identify our from and to units. Okay, and our next step is to get our conversion factor. So according to my metric notes, I know that 1 mile equals 1.6 kilometers. Okay, and from that, I can get my two conversion factors, which are either 1.6 kilometers over 1 mile or 1 mile over 1.6 kilometers. So remember, now our next step is to figure out which one of these I can use to cancel out my units. So remember, the next thing we do is write out 5 kilometers. That's the beginning of my equation. So to cancel out kilometers, according to my fraction rules, I need kilometers on the bottom because kilometers divided by kilometers equals 1. So that means I'm going to use this equation right there because kilometers is on the bottom. So the next step is to go ahead and write it out. So we have 1 mile on top, and then you have 1.6 kilometers on the bottom. Okay, so now what we're going to do, our next step is to go ahead and multiply across following our rules of fractions for multiplying fractions. I'm going to put my letters with my letters and my numbers with my numbers. So 5 times 1, I'm going to put in brackets. And then we have kilometers times miles. And then I have 1 times 1.6. And then I have kilometers by itself on the bottom. Okay, so all I did was group my numbers with my numbers and my letters with my letters because it's the same property when you're multiplying across. It's the same thing. Okay, so then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel out my units that I can cancel out. Well, I know that kilometers over kilometers, that just makes a 1. So it's like you're multiplying by 1. Okay, so then we can cancel that guy out and then finish multiplying across. So 5 times 1 is going to give you 5. 1 times 1.6 on the bottom is going to give you 1.6. Miles is left by itself. Then you finish dividing it. 5 divided by 1.6 gives you 3.125 miles. And you cannot forget your units at the end. Okay? So this is writing it out a little bit differently because you're separating everything. You're putting your numbers with your numbers and your letters with your letters. It might help some of you to do it this way, but you definitely need to show your work either way.